this video. I'm back after a long time. Also, to give an update to everyone who has been continuing to follow me on Instagram, because I have been posting on Instagram once in a while. I don't have a structure really. I just want to talk about where I've been, what I've been up to, and why I'm back. If you have been following me before I vanished from YouTube, welcome back. And if you're new here, click the bell icon below to turn on my post notifications. So I created this channel because I love pink and I'm all about like girly things, feminine energy, positivity, shopping. I love makeup, I love fashion, and I like fitness, so I might incorporate some of that into this channel. So I'm gonna get straight to the purpose of this video. What better way to come back with a reintroduction of myself, where I've been, life update. A lot of that includes my mental health, and I am coming back with all the energy. I have a lot of content planned. I have so many ideas flying around in my head, and I just can't wait to get them out to you so that you can all enjoy them and see them, and yeah, ask me anything. Okay, so I have nothing written down. Everything I'm going to say is straight out of my experiences and just everything I want to get out from my heart, everything I'm thinking, and it's just all gonna be raw for you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk, and let's see where this goes. And if there's something you don't understand, please feel free to comment below, ask me questions, and I'll try my best to answer them right away. Yeah, I was gone for over a year from YouTube. The last time I posted a video, I had some events in my life that were very difficult, and I stopped. So what was I doing? I was very depressed. I didn't have expectations to post, and depression is something that I've dealt with like pretty much my whole life, or pretty much like right after becoming a mom. Maybe before that, when I started college. You know, college is stressful, and I wanted to become a doctor, and I feel like I'm a person that's really tough on myself. I have OCD, and I like to wait till things are perfect to do things, and that's not okay. So I'm gonna talk about that right now. I'm getting comfortable. Okay, so I'm a mom. I became a mom when I was 19. I'm married. I married my high school sweetheart. Yeah, we love each other very much, and I'm very creative. I'm artistic. I had a little baking business for a time. I stopped that. I like to draw. I was like the little girl that would draw at school, like in elementary school. I was like, look over her shoulder, she draws. I guess I do recognize that I'm talented, and I've always been shy. I grew up extremely shy. Maybe it's a mixture of everything that created my depression, and I always found an outlet, like a way to ignore it, a way to deal with it. And I would always say, like, for example, my OCD, I would say, oh no, I need that because that makes me great at what I do. That makes me want to do it perfect or nearly perfect, because no one's perfect. I was a little bit overweight as a kid. So when I started middle school, like sometimes I would get made fun of, and not like notice that girls started like being pretty and like wearing nice clothes, and I didn't feel pretty because I wasn't like thin. So that was like a big stressor for me as a child. So when I grew up, you know, I had kids, and your body changes when you become a mom. So a lot of my depression, like 4 years ago, was because of my weight. I never felt good enough. I was in shape, I was eating healthy, and I didn't appreciate all my hard work. I never felt like I looked good. Last year was so difficult that I appreciate everything I had before. I appreciate everything I have now. I appreciate all the blessings that I have, and I wanted to talk about that today. Not to make you feel bad for me or anything. I want to tell you that to end it with like a very positive note. And I hope that if any of you could relate to me with what I've dealt with and how I'm coping with it, I just hope to help someone in the way that I needed help and in the way that I've been helped. I mentioned that I used to bake. I became really like known for my cakes. I would make like the cakes with the like fondant. I would do sculpted cakes. I know how to do all that. Like I know how to make cookies, cupcakes, desserts, pastries, all the stuff you see at a party. Like I can make it all. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know that already. But I stopped doing that because at one point I took too many orders and I wasn't sleeping, so I got really unhealthy and it just wasn't worth it, so I stopped that. And then when the pandemic came, it was really hard for me. I had my girls home, I was a teacher, and I was trying to keep up with my workouts, and I was home, I was stuck home. It was depressing. I couldn't really do much, so I started gaining weight, and I was trying my best to like stay in shape. Now that I look back, I didn't even look bad. But you know, like I said, I've always been hard on myself. So I started looking into, I started going on YouTube, and then I ran into all these girls with their beauty rooms, the pink aesthetic, and I've always loved pink. So I felt like I could relate, and that just made me happy just watching it. And then one day I was like, oh, like I want that. I wish I would have like decorated everything pink. And then one day I was like, you know what, I could do it. Like, I'm just gonna do it. So I just started like getting rid of all the like non-pink stuff. And then, I mean, it's my space, so it's how I want it, what makes me feel safe, what makes me feel comfortable, and that's what I did. And then here I am. Okay, so that's me before, and what I wanted to focus on was the past year. This is a little bit like, I say it's not hard for me to talk about, but on the October of 2020. So a year ago, my parents called me and told me that my mom she wasn't like breathing okay, and she was feeling bad, and she needed to go to the hospital. So she went, and I was like, okay. My mom has always gone to like the doctor when she has felt bad. She's always taking care of her health. My mom has always done everything on her own. She's always been the go-getter, and whenever she needed something from me, like the times that she's had like surgeries, she wouldn't even make it seem like a big deal. So a year ago, I lost my mom the day after Christmas, and I thought that, so she got, okay, let me rewind a little. So she got sick 3 months before that. She went to the hospital, and she was a person that wouldn't really like ask for help. She would do things herself. If she felt bad, she'd go to the doctor. She would always get checkups. I was like, oh yeah, my mom's healthy. If she needed help, she would ask in a way where it wasn't like you would get concerned. One time my mom asked me to take her to like a doctor appointment, and I was like, okay, like I'll go with you. And then once I'm there, it turns out that it was like a surgery. Like the doctors called me, and they're like, she's under anesthesia, like take care of her like this. And I was like, I had no idea. Like, well, mom, like she didn't tell me. Like she just didn't want to worry me, and that's how she was. And I guess like her being in the hospital for 3 months, she got sick. She had like lung problems from like COVID, and it just worsened. And the doctors, like towards the last days, like we had hope like till the end. And my mom was very young, like she was 53. And the doctors did tell us like at the very end, like the week of, they were like, okay, like there's nothing we could do. And I guess like I thought about it, and I was like hopeful. And I feel like when someone tells you like that someone that you love is like gonna leave or like isn't healthy anymore, you kind of don't believe it, or you think you believe it and you think you're gonna be okay because you know they're suffering so much, but you don't really know until it happens. And so when my mom passed away, like it was like, okay, like if that moment was terrible, and then after that I felt like so much load was like placed in my hands. Like we had bought a house a month prior, and we were moving, so I'm the mom, so I was like unpacking everything. And then my girls had no school yet, so I was their homeschool teacher, so I was doing that. 2 girls, worrying about my little sister and my dad, and then like I have a brother. And I was kind of like, I feel like I didn't really have time to grieve because I had so many things to shuffle, and I was like, okay, like I'm going to get over this, like it's okay. Like obviously I was devastated, and my mom was everything to me, and I didn't realize until like she's gone now that, and ever since I became a mom, I would visit like my mom and my dad, and I've always been in a hurry. I would be like, okay, like yeah, I love you, bye. I have to go because I have to cook. I have to go because I have to study. I have to go because I have a cake to make. I have to go because I've always had something to do. So we're back in like the holidays when my mom's gone, and that's depressing. That was so hard for me. And then these holidays that just passed were kind of like where I got really bad. I got really bad. So I was shuffling everything with like homeschool. I couldn't do it. I would cry every day, and I wanted to like be okay. I didn't really have time to grieve. I didn't have time to be in bed. I didn't have time. And then I got sick during that time. I remember I had COVID, and I started to do like all the mom stuff, clean, and I feel like I'm all over the place, but it's just so many emotions that I have, and I'm actually surprised that I'm doing good and I'm not like bawling out, but I don't know. Anyways, okay, so my wedding was coming up, and my wedding is something that had been postponed due to COVID, and I was like, okay, I have everything ready. I just picked up my dress, whatever, like I want to do it. I did the wedding, and I thought like that after the wedding everything would be perfect and fine, and I would deal with everything, and I would go to my content, and that would be a positive reinforcement. It would help me like cope with my loss. And I didn't want to mourn. I didn't want to cry. I didn't want to be sad, and I just wanted to be okay for my kids, be okay for my husband. So I gained some weight like before my mom passed away, and then I lost weight in a hurry before my wedding because my dress didn't fit me. I ordered my dress like a size 4, and I remember when I went to go get my dress ordered, I was a size 6, and I was like, no, please order me a size 4. I lost weight, it fit me. So then the pandemic happened, a year passed, I gained that weight, and then yeah, for my wedding, my dress was a little bit tight, but I did lose weight. Right after my wedding, I gained a lot of weight, and I just lost like 20 pounds, so yay me. So after my wedding, I thought that like a lot of things were gonna like go well, and I was trying to keep up with content. I would say, no, I'm not depressed. I don't have time, and that got me depressed. I was so sad because I had switched my girls from homeschooling because it was so difficult for me. I put them in schools. They were switching schools, and then right now they go to 2 different schools when they should be in one school. The schools that I wanted my kids to go to are a little bit further away, so I have to leave the house like an hour and a half before to pick them up. I come home, I only have an hour usually to feed them, be on them, like hurry up and change, let's go to practice. And I just felt like I didn't have time. I started like just staying in bed, not waking up on time. I wasn't eating healthy. I was ordering DoorDash every day, ordering fast food, and that's not me. I couldn't work out, and I just feel like I need my mom. Like I just need her, and it's just so hard to be without her, and it's just so hard to not have her. And it's something that like you don't know what it feels like until you feel it, until you're there. And I always was like, okay, I'm really strong, like I'm gonna be okay. And even though she had to leave like really young, like I started like getting really angry. Like I would see people happy, and I would just be mad. Like you don't know, like you haven't lost someone like I have, but like I don't know that, you know. And I was just feeling what I was feeling, and I just didn't care. I stopped. Like I know, like I cared about my kids, I cared about my husband, I cared about like my family and my friends, because I feel like I'm so lucky. I've made so many friends that they always eventually become family to me, and that's a blessing for me. But I just didn't want to be around anyone. And then on top of that, like I felt like overweight and I felt ugly. I didn't feel like feminine no more. I didn't feel pretty. And I just didn't want to see anyone. I just didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to see anyone. I told my husband once, like, I don't want to go to parties no more. I don't want to invite anyone. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to like stay in my room. I started like, I got so depressed, like having ugly thoughts. Like I got suicidal, and I feel like the thing that motivated me during that time were my girls, cuz like I have a strong mind. Like my girls need me and I am there for them for everything. I think I like baby them. I spoil them like with love. So I knew right away, like if something ever happened to me, like who's gonna take care of them, how I take care of them, like who's gonna be attentive to them. So that was like my love for my girls was like is so great that like that kept me going. I feel like living with like depression that way at that level is so difficult. Like you just don't want to do anything. And like with the fitness, like, once I set myself to do something, I do it. Before the pandemic, I had just came out of like a really tough like fitness routine diet, and I kept it up for 3 months. Like I would carry my lunch with me everywhere, and that's something that's like really hard to do. The food was like not the best tasting. It was very bland, like no salt. And I would get like people asking me like, why are you doing that? Like, oh, you have your lunch with you. But it was something that I just wanted to do. Like I just wanted to get in shape, and I did in like a little bit of time. So now that I was trying to like live my life and like just move on with what I have, I realized that like I felt like the depression I had before is nothing compared to the depression that I developed after I lost my mom. Like my mom is someone I would go to for everything. Like I have never been like as careful with my health. I didn't even care about going to a doctor before. Like I would just go and tell her like, Mom, this is happening to me, and she like just I'd go off of whatever she would say. Or she'd just see me and she knew right away if something was wrong with me. She'd be like, hey, like what are you doing? Like don't do this. And I just miss her. And like I felt so alone. I felt so alone like when she, like now that like she's gone, and I would just like cry all day. And I feel like that's something that like sometimes people don't understand. And I feel like you need to grieve, like you need to mourn. And I've learned that that pain that I feel will never go away. Like it's never gonna get better, it's never gonna get easier. Yeah, I'll have moments where I'm happy about something else, I'm distracted, but like whenever I go back and think of my mom, like I think of my mom a lot. Because like when I think of like things that I've been successful at, things that I'm proud of myself about, I think of her and it makes me smile. But then I get like I go through all the stages of grief, like denial, anger, I don't believe it, and then I'm just like, I start crying. And now I allow myself to just cry. I just allow myself to just let it all out, cry. I was dealing with that like all year, so that's why like I just didn't feel like filming. I felt down. I was sad because I was like, okay, I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. I kept telling myself, I'm not even depressed. Like, I just want to film. I just want to create content, and I want to be in my room, and I don't even do my makeup anymore. My clothes wasn't fitting me. I don't even buy clothes anymore. I don't even want to go shopping. And that was like so depressing for me. Like something that I love so much, like for it to just be gone, and for me to like not want to be here, like that was so hard for me. And I feel like a lot of people didn't know, and like I started distancing myself from like my close friends. And I feel like, of course, like all my friends, like I know they understand me and I know like they get me, but like I feel like bad. And I felt bad at the time, but like then I wouldn't care, and I would just be like okay, like I just didn't want to do anything. And like when you feel like that depressed, so my depression and my anxiety just started getting worse because I felt like I couldn't juggle everything that I had on my plate. I would say like, okay, like I'm gonna go to sleep. I couldn't sleep because I'm always driving. I'm still always driving. I'm always driving. Like I leave my house like 5 times a day, picking up the kids, taking them to practice, coming back. If I need to go grocery shopping, I do that. And like I feel like I really haven't had time, the time that I used to have, like before all the bad things have happened. And like at that time I felt so like lost. Like I felt like I was getting dragged into a hole, and I just like kept trying to get out, but I couldn't. Like something was pulling me back and telling me like, no, you can't get up. Like you're nothing, and you're not worth anything, and you deserve all the pain, and you don't deserve anything nice, and you just, you know, like you don't need to be here. And that's what I felt. I remember thinking like what's the point? Like I knew I had a lot of things to be grateful for, and I know that I have to be grateful for all the things I have that maybe other people don't. I always want to keep that into perspective, but like I just felt like, why do I have all these things? Or why do I like material things, you know? Like I'd be like, why? Like I'm ugly, I'm depressed, I don't want to do anything, I'm useless, I'm a waste of space. I would tell myself all these ugly things, and I remember being like, okay, like I just like forget that room, like this room, the pink room, and I would be like, I just want to throw everything away, like forget it. I'm gonna delete like my Instagram, I'm gonna delete like all my social media. I'm just, oh, like I don't want to do anything. And I just remember feeling so like hopeless, useless, depressed, sad. I just kept having those moments. I would cry, I would yell, like I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I had been diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression before, but I stopped going to my therapist. I was just like, I just didn't want to. And I was just like, it just seemed silly. I felt like I didn't want to be categorized like, oh, you're depressed, you're crazy. And that's how I saw it. And not that I see anyone like that, but like I saw myself that. So I am like so difficult on myself. I'm so hard on myself, and I've learned that, and I've accepted that, and that's what I'm not a person that's ever gonna like give up. Obviously I feel like I felt like giving up. I felt like there was nothing to look forward to in my life. There was nothing for me to be excited about. There was nothing that I was excited about. Working out, doing little things was difficult for me. I didn't want to go out. And I knew like in the back of my head that I needed to do something about it. Everybody in my life that loves me wants to help me. But like if I don't let them in, like they can't help me. And who better? Who else could make you feel better about yourself than yourself? So that's what I did. It wasn't easy. I decided like one day I was like really crying, and I was upset, and I was like with my husband. And what made my depression hard, and I think got it like rock bottom, was knowing that like I needed a hug from my mom, and I just couldn't get it. And that made me like, oh, like so depressed. My husband got like really frustrated with me. Like I'm thinking of him, like imagine like he's seeing, like he loves me, and he sees me like every day like down, every day depressed, every day crying, every day just not wanting to get up, seeing me every day like just wanting to like be hit by a bus or something bad like that. And him seeing me and not being able to do anything to help me, or to just like instantly change like my thoughts, instantly change how I feel, that's frustrating. And I just think like if you are experiencing this, like when he would like feel like frustrated, and I felt like he was just like, oh, like I don't know what to do, like he's never given up on me. But this day I felt him feel like he was like angry, but not at me. He was just like stressed out. And I remember being like, I need help, like help me, like help, like I'm gonna get help, like I need to talk to someone. And that's something I didn't want to do. Like I said, I didn't want to be categorized into like I need help. I didn't want no one to know that I was getting help for like depression, for these thoughts, these negative thoughts, for me like not appreciating my life, you know, me not wanting my life. And it was embarrassing. It was so hard for me. It was a big step I took. And so I did. I remember I told my husband that to help me. I told him like, please help me, like take this step. And he said, yeah, like I'm here for you. I'm here for whatever you need. And one day I got really mad at him because we were looking at the like phone number for like the like mental health department at my hospital, and he called, and obviously they can't talk to him, they have to talk to me. And then he's just like, here, he passed me the phone, and I was like, what are you talking about? It is so intimidating and like scary to talk like to these people, like to the like receptionists, like secretaries, I don't know, the people that are in charge of like these appointments. And they ask you all these questions that are like deep questions, like, oh, like, what do you feel? Have you had suicidal thoughts? What are your energy levels? Do you have pleasure doing things? And I'm like answering like 10 questions, and I'm just like, ugh, like feeling awkward. And then I had my first appointment, and I was like, I didn't want to go. I was late, and I went. Okay, so I went to my therapist. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I feel like it's long already. I'm just like rambling. The point is that things are better, and I am really happy. And like I said, I will never get over my mom. I cry for her almost every day. I could be happy and I'll just think of her, and I just miss her. No one can replace your mom. And I allow myself that time to cry for her, to grieve for her, because I never want to forget about her. I never want to stop feeling sad for her being gone. I never want to, like, I never want to like just not think of her. So I wanted to talk about this because I know there's people out there. I know I'm not the only person that has gone through something like this, and I know I'm not the only person that has ever experienced depression or anxiety or negative thoughts. I just want whoever's experiencing this or knows someone who is going through this and they don't know how to help them, and they're helping them get through it or don't know how, I just want them to know that there is light and it gets better. And when you're feeling what I was feeling, you feel like it's never gonna get better. You just feel like there's no hope. You feel like you don't feel anything sometimes. You just don't want a thing, you don't care. You want to break everything, you're angry, you hate everything, you hate everyone sometimes. And my message to people who know someone like that is like to just be there for them. Even if they push you away, because we could push people that we love away. It's this depression, this negativity, all this bad stuff that we've soaked up. It's pushing people away, and it's telling people like mean things sometimes. And I just think like all we need sometimes is like love, a hug. Be there for them. Be there for them, because now that I'm doing great, like I've never been this happy. I'm so happy, and I never thought I'd see life this way, especially after like something so tragic happening to me, like my mom, and so many things happening to me back to back. Other things, you know, that like I've gone through that aren't as big, but I just started changing. I started to see like a psychologist, like a therapist, and then I started to see a psychiatrist. And taking medicine for depression, like antidepressants, was something I didn't want to do. When I was in college, I switched my major in college, and I wanted to like become a psychologist. So I remember that I learned that antidepressants could be really dangerous. There's a lot of cases where people who take antidepressants to feel better end up committing suicide. And I didn't want to get there. I didn't want to be like not knowing what I was doing. But I mean, I was feeling so bad that I was like, what the heck? Like, whatever, I have so many things to do. No one cares about me. That's what I felt. No one cares about my time. If I get sick, I can't take a break because I'm a mom. So I'd be like, whatever, like I'll take medicine and I'll just be like doing stuff. I'll just have the energy and just not think about like how sad I feel. And I would be like, either way, like I have no purpose. I just have to like put it in my head that I'm just a mom. I'm just gonna be a stay-at-home mom, cook and clean, and I'm a servant. Like that's how I saw life. But no, that's not how it worked. My doctors were really nice. Like I was showing up and I wanted to do it, and I knew it was gonna take time, and I guess I didn't know that I didn't think it was gonna help. I was like, I already know this. They're just gonna convince me that everything's okay and convince me to deal with it, but like that's not the problem. The problem is I just don't have time. How can I take medicine if I'm always driving? Like I can't just be like, you know, like on drugs all day. But one day everything changed. I started wanting to like be there for my dad and my sister and my brother more. I was like, okay, like I'm the oldest and I've been kind of distant because I've been dealing with like my grief, and I've been mourning and like not telling anyone and just not being there for anyone. And I would worry a lot what people thought, and I'd be like, they don't understand what I'm going through. Like everybody moves on with their life, and like the pain is still like here. Like I feel the pain, and like everybody moves on, no one cares. And that's what I felt. But anyways, one day like I was like calling my sister and my dad, and I was like, well, how are you? And then my dad's was like, oh, well, your sister's sick. Like nothing, it was nothing major. She had like a cold or something. And I was just like, oh, like I want to help, like not be the mom, but like I am a mom, so I wanted to make like my family feel like I was there, like to make them feel a little bit warm, you know. And I remember I got so depressed, like I got sad just thinking about it, and I was like, what do I do? My mom would know what to do. And I was like feeling sorry for myself and feeling sorry for my dad, and sorry for my sister and my brother and my family, and feeling sorry that we didn't have my mom. And I was just like what do I do? Like there's nothing for me to do. And I just felt like depressed. And then I just was like, no, like I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself anymore. Like no, like that is like, I'm not gonna be a baby. Like I need to step up. I need to step up. I need to change. I'm gonna be better. And that's when like it clicked. And I'm the type of person, like I don't like for example, like if I'm gonna work out, and like before I would tell my husband like, please tell me to work out, please, I have to work out. And if he would tell me, I would get mad, like, no, like you don't get it, like I don't want to, or I have things to do, or it's not that I don't want to, I don't have time and I'm exhausted and I did all these things. I have to want to do it. I have to push myself. And that's how I am. So that's how I motivate myself. I just like made the switch. It is a lot like what my therapist showed me, like the way she would talk to me. And I think like seeing a therapist helped me feel like challenged, you know, like oh, I don't want like this person who was at first a stranger, like I don't want the stranger to be like, oh, like what a weenie. Like I know I had a reason to be sad, but I don't like showing people that I'm not trying. I don't like showing people that I'm just giving up. I don't like showing people that I'm just gonna stay like there. I'm embarrassed, you know, to show that side of me. So I got really comfortable with my therapist. The funny thing is that like she released me right away, because when I first signed up to be in the program with her, the program was like a risk program, like, oh, you're at risk of suicidal thoughts and super extremely depressed. And like, every time I would go to an appointment, like they give you like a bunch of questions. And she based like all my responses, and I was really like, I would really like answer them honestly, because I was like, I don't want to come here, I don't want to drive here, I don't even want to do this. And if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna like really see if it helps, even though like I really like in the back of my head I was like, oh, like this is not gonna help. So yeah, like I just kept getting better scores every time, and I was just like, oh, like you're doing better. And she would tell me, and then yeah, she released me like in a month, and she's like, okay, like you're good to go on your own. And I was like, no, I want to keep seeing you. And she even had told me like, do you want to do video calls? Because the first 2 appointments I made my husband come with me. Like I wanted him to come with me because I felt like I didn't want him to judge me, and I know he doesn't, but I don't know, it was just like my state of being, like my unhealthy mind back then, and I just wanted him to be a part of it. And then later she kind of like kicked him out, and then without really telling him that, and she was just like, okay, like I need to have some appointments with just you, and I like we could do video calls, because it was like really far from me, and I didn't want to do video calls. I wanted to do like directly there, like so that it could push me to be like kind of embarrassed to like just let out everything and like cry if I had to, and see if it helped. And yeah, I started doing video calls, and it's nice. Like I think it's nice. Like I want to have a therapist like all the time, but she was like, no, like we want to encourage you being like on your own. And she's like, you're really strong. And that's pretty much what she said. And I'm just like reflecting, and I'm like, I can't believe like the spot I was before, and like now I'm like happy. And that's that's why I made this video, like to bring awareness to people who are suffering, and to tell you that you're not alone, and to tell you that there is help, and if you have access to help, just go get it. Like, you don't have to tell anyone, just do it. Like, try, you know, or ask for help. And like when we're like feeling bad, like anything could hurt us, anyone could hurt us, or especially the people around us could hurt us really bad sometimes with things they say, because it's not really them, it's like us. Like we get hurt easily because of all the pain we're going, and then like you just load another little tiny like piece of weight on it, like it just becomes like your whole world crashes down. And yeah, that's pretty much what I experienced, and I just feel so like motivated. I feel so happy, and like I started having days where like I was excited to wake up. I was like, okay, like it's late, but like I want it to be tomorrow already because I want to do things. Like I started working out. I lost a lot of weight. Like I was feeling really depressed because like I had no like clothes like that fit me, and like all the clothes like in my closet, like a lot of the clothes like was like from before my mom passed away, and like a lot of it is like small clothes, and like it just didn't fit me. And that's why I would be like, why do I even have all this stuff? Like I'm gonna throw it all away. And I did donate a lot of it, but now like I'm like getting like back to my size, and I'm happy. Like I started pushing myself, and I've learned that like if you want to like change and whatever you're doing isn't working, like change it up, do something drastic. If you want drastic results, do drastic changes. And that's what I did. I started waking up at 5 a.m. I started doing fasted cardio for 30 minutes. I started lifting weight, and like realistically, like before sometimes I would work out and be lazy and be like, okay, like I did it, like whatever. And now I was like, no, like I need to change. I would sometimes cry working out because I just felt like out of shape. I felt like I didn't want to work out. I would think of my mom and cry. I would just sit there, you know, and I just kept going. And I learned like recently, I learned like a saying or like a quote. I don't know who said it, but it has inspired me a lot. And I would always say like, okay, like I'm very talented in a lot of things. I'm artistic, I'm creative, and like I don't have time to do all these things that I'm capable of, and I know I could do them, but like I'm not doing them. And I would get mad like at myself. Like I would be like, oh, why can't I do them? Anyways, going back to the quote, it said something like, you could have all the talent in the world, you could be the most talented person, you could be the best person at a certain task or at something, and not be consistent and not work hard every single day and just like not try. Or you could be the person that isn't as talented but doesn't give up and just is consistent and works every day and keeps trying to learn and keeps going at it. And then that person eventually is going to become way more successful than the person who has way more talent but isn't doing anything about it. So that's what I learned. Like at first it was for like working out. Like I was like, okay, like I'm not where I want to be, but like I'm gonna do it every day. And even sometimes I didn't feel like working out at all, and it's so easy to be like, okay, I'm not gonna work out today and like just go to bed. But no, I was like, no, I have to act, like do something. So I would do sometimes like half of my workout, or sometimes I was already halfway and I was like, okay, like I'm already doing it, like I'm gonna do the rest of it. What I learned, like that's why I'm so happy now too, like every day I gave a little bit that was in my energy, and when I realistically thought I could give a little bit more, I did. Like I started increasing weight, and then I started applying that with my regular life. So I complain that I don't have time to do things because of all the errands I do as a mom. And yeah, I feel like I still don't really have time. I'm always in a rush. I don't really have time to spend with friends. I don't have a lot of time to do like I would get upset because I would be like, oh, like I hear some moms that I knew like would be like, oh, like I wake up, I watch my TV show, and then I like have my coffee and I relax, and then later I do all the things. And I would be like, I can never sit down and just like waste time like that. Like I thought like I can't just sit down and like just enjoy my time and like enjoy my coffee. So anyways, what I started doing is I can't wake up at 10 anymore. I can't wake up at 12 anymore, because that's what I was doing when I was super depressed. I would wake up at 1 even sometimes. That's depressing, even for my little girls. Like I didn't want them to see me that way. I didn't want them to see me cry. So like I would hold it in, and I would lock myself in the bathroom and like just cry and cry and cry. And and like think like the worst things about myself that aren't even true. If I want to like talk bad about myself, like there's many people to do that. Like there's always going to be someone to like not like me. There's always going to be someone to disagree with my ideas, and that's okay. Like if I believe in myself, that's what matters, and I do believe in myself now. And I've just like, I'm so happy, and like I just wanted to share that, like not to like be like, oh hey, like look at me, I'm happy. I wanted to share that because I just want to bring awareness to everyone like experiencing the pain like of depression, the pain of anxiety, the pain of losing someone, that there's hope and that it gets better, and you just have to be patient. And I know like it sounds frustrating when they tell you like be patient, like things get better, and then you're just like, that's just the beauty of it. You just have to be patient and stop negative talking to yourself. Like we're amazing, we're great, we're all capable. Another thing that I've learned that has helped me a lot is that besides being blessed, right? Someone could say like, oh, I don't have this though, or this person has this. If I had that, I would do it. If I had what that person has, I would do it. If I looked that way, I would do it. I can't do it because I don't have this. And I've been in that position before, but I just learned like, I want it. I'm gonna get it. If that person has more than me or more tools to get where I want, and I have less, and I have to work harder, then I'm just gonna work harder. I'm just gonna do it. And that's just, we're not all the same, and we're not all given the same resources, you know, to fight for what we want. But that's just, it just makes you strong. Like pain can make you strong, struggling can make you strong. And I just think like, just don't give up. And if I went all over the place because I just said like I was just gonna throw it out there raw, and you have questions, you know, I'm willing to help. And I'm a person that's like, I want to give, I want to help. I remember being in a spot where I felt so like trapped, and I felt like no one understood me. Like I feel like people could see you a certain way, and like that's what I try to keep in consideration when I meet someone. Like you don't know what they're feeling, you don't know, they could be mean to you, you know, at the store, like sometimes that happens, and you're like, you don't know what they're going through. Our instinct is to like get upset if someone says something mean to us or like offends us in any way. I try my best to just, you know, like think like, okay, like what's this person going through? Like maybe they're going through something, and just try not to take it personal and just move on. And that's how I'm seeing life now. I'm just very, 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 very happy, and I'm motivated, and I'm confident. And that's something I never had before, like completely how I had now. Like my confidence before, if I ever had any like complete confidence, it had to do with like my fitness. And yeah, I'm getting in shape, but I'm not like where I want to be, but I'm just confident. I mean, like you're not here forever, and I just want to be happy. And I think of my mom a lot. Like she would want me to be happy, and you know, looking at it that way. And I'm looking forward to like all the things that I'm gonna like accomplish, and all the things I'm gonna do, and hopefully all the people I'm gonna be able to help, and all the people I'm gonna be able to meet, and all the people that are gonna be able to touch my heart, all the ways that I could say thanks to them. So yeah, I started taking medication, and it gives me energy, and it also makes me sleepy. Like it makes me kind of have a schedule. I learned with that to I set up like a schedule every day. Like I was like complaining that I didn't have time to do things, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start writing down all the things I want to do. And a problem that we do sometimes is we overpack our list. Like I would get like to the first two things on the list, it would be like bedtime, and I would be very upset. Like I don't do anything, I didn't do nothing. But then I would be like, well, what did I do? I cleaned, I picked up my girls, I fed them, I helped them with homework, I did this, and I did all these things for myself. And I feel like now I have to juggle like making content, working out, and I don't know, doing other like house stuff. And I feel like they're all priorities, so it's kind of hard for me. So I'm trying to like switch it out on the days. Like every day I'm trying to do something different, or I'm trying to switch out my list and be like, okay, this didn't work, I'm gonna do this. And it's hard, but I'm doing it, and that has like, I'm giving myself credit finally. I'm helping myself, and I just feel like I don't know if it's the medication just making me feel like invincible and happy. I don't know if it was just having to talk to someone, or it's just a click, you know. Just I feel like I'm back, but I'm better, and I just wanted to share, and I just want to like help. I just get, once I'm motivated, and I think like you can't always run on motivation because motivation fades. Fueling that engine every day, and I'm just giving it my all and trying my best and being the best mom I can. So I think I covered everything. I just wanted to say like where I've been, why I was like gone for so long. You know, I was like feeling terrible. It was like a terrible time for me, and I overcame it. And I never thought like I would be feeling this way and meeting new people. And I just think like if you meet people that lift you up, stick to them. If you're around people that put you down, it's okay to step back. I mean, you don't have to necessarily like end those connections. You could just take a step back. I would worry so much about not doing the things that were gonna help me heal because I didn't want to be judged. It's okay, like, you know, like I know some people feel that way, and it's okay to just eliminate everything that's hurting you at the moment, or everything that isn't like helping you, and moving towards what's gonna help you, moving towards what you think is gonna make you feel better. And I remember having like my husband got me a vlogging camera. He got me a brand new like MacBook so I could edit, and like these things have been sitting in my room for like a year, and I would get that, kind of would get me even more upset. I would be angry, like I haven't even opened it. And I'm very OCD, like I said. I like to wait till the perfect moment so I could open things. I don't like to like lose things. I like to have everything in its place. I was putting my life on hold based on how I looked, how I felt, and how successful I was, you know, at my like daily task, self-care things. This just makes me happy, and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm here to stay. And then like now that I'm doing great, like I've started to reach out to my friends and like dates set up, like girly dates. Like I'm like, oh, let's do this, like let's hang out. And I feel so blessed to like I have these friends that like have became like family, because to them, like I always said, a true friend isn't someone that like is gonna be checking like when you show up, like, hey, like you haven't talked to me, like we're not friends no more. A true friend is a friend that you could go years without talking to them, days without talking to them, and when you get together again and you talk to them, it's as if like you haven't been apart. Like, yeah, life gets in the way. A lot of my friends are moms as well, and I understand, like sometimes they'll be like, oh, like I miss my friend, like let me call her or text her or wish her to have a good day. And like sometimes like you can't keep up like with everyone, but that's what I hope to give to my friends, that like they don't have to feel obligated to spend time with like my creative ideas like come out when I'm alone. I like to like just be here and work. And I think like that's part of how my anxiety has gotten worse, is because I can't just like be chill. I have to always do something. And I felt like all this time like I would quit something, like that's something that would put me down for a while. But I'm like, no, I could do all these things. And like I would never put myself up as much as I do now. And like I said, like no one's gonna put you up, like no one's gonna bring you up as much as you can. You do what you gotta do to bring yourself up. Do what you can. Yes, there's gonna be people better than you, but you know, just work and do it and keep going and don't give up. Eventually you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, I did it, like I'm here now. And that's how I feel about like overcoming my depression. And that's how I feel about coping with my anxiety, and not having like episodes anymore where I feel like hopeless and useless. And yeah, I get like overwhelmed and I cry, but you know, that's okay. And you know, my hair is healthy, like I reduced my stress. This is like my natural hair. Like I didn't even like, I just kind of brushed it when I got out of the shower earlier, and like I like it. Like I used to never be happy with like how I looked, natural beauty. Like I've never been happy like with anything, and now I'm just like happy because I know I've worked so hard for this, and I know that I'm just like giving myself more credit. Finally I'm back and better, or the old person, the old me is gone, and like this is a new me. And that's how I see life too. After my mom, that life is gone. The beautiful life I had with my mom is gone, and now I'm creating a new life. And of course, like I would give up everything I have. I would give up all the material things I have to just have my mom back. But you know, it doesn't work that way. So just have to work hard and like something good's gonna come out of this. So now I want to share a very exciting collaboration launch that came out. It's two of my favorite girly pink energy influencers, YouTubers here. Miss Glam and Thania's Official have collaborated together to create this beautiful makeup case. And okay, this is not just any makeup case. Okay, the color is beautiful, it matches my nails. And you open it, okay, and I just love like how Miss Glam has like her logo here, like it just like comes out. So you see how the inside is like a different pink. Like I love that, like because here it's like elegant, you know, it's like a dusty pink, and like in here it's like bright princess, unicorn, I don't know, I love this color. And what got me super excited for this launch was this piece, because I feel like sometimes like you throw in all your makeup in the like big compartment, and then you throw your makeup brushes in there, and like it just gives me like anxiety sometimes, like oh, like the makeup brushes are gonna get messed up, you know. And no, you could put them in here, you could put them in here, and then it has like this plastic protection so that like, you know, you're gonna use them, you're gonna get makeup on them, so like you could just cover them and then you close it. And then let me pull out the makeup brushes. Let me see. Can you see it? Okay, I want it to be in the background. So these are the beautiful Thania brushes. I don't know why they remind me of like Princess Jasmine, like from Aladdin. I think it's like just like, you know, the like thickness and like the tip and like, I don't know, like princess vibes. Like these are brushes straight out of a storybook, a princess story. Okay, so you gotta love Miss Glam's signature diamonds in the front, and then her makeup brushes, these makeup brushes right here. Is it even focusing? It's supposed to. These makeup brushes have like gold, but they're not like gold, they're like a matte gold, like a light gold, like oh, it's so beautiful. And then the brush, it's like a pink, but like it's kind of like a dusty pink. It's a 10-piece set, and then she has like really interesting like shapes. Like every brush has it tells you what it's for, and like I'm not an expert, you know, on makeup. Like I think I do my makeup well, and I get compliments from time to time, and I just use whatever like works for me, and that's fine. Like I usually use this for blush, but I like to read like what they're for. Like say what it says. It's contour, angled contour brush. So that's what I'm gonna use it for. Okay, this is my favorite. Ever since high school, I like to like do like a light, like a white, sparkly white, like eyeshadow here, like in the inner corner, and like in the like brow bone. It's a perfect brush for that because it's like little. Why isn't it focusing? I'm just so excited to use them. I didn't want to use them earlier because I wanted to show them to you before they got like dirty, but I am about to go use them. It comes, you get the 10-piece set with the makeup bag, and they come in like a beautiful box with like, you know, tissue, and they come with a dust bag. Isn't this so cute? I just love like that she started like adding dust bags to like all her products. It's just so fancy, like you can use it for different things. Like I used, like I think I used it last time for like my slippers, and then like I also have her travel makeup cases, and like I packed it like last weekend. I went out, and I don't like I said, I have OCD, my like plastic items getting like scratched with like all my luggage. So like I like packed it, whatever, I put all the makeup in it, and then I put it in a little baggie, you know, tightened it, put it inside my luggage, and yeah, these come in handy. I love them. I could think of like a million uses for this. And head on over to LIKEtoKNOW.it and use my discount code. It's gonna be below. And also, I just want to say, if you stay to the very end, thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for being someone who heard my story. Just know that I'm here, and not just because I say I'm feeling better means it's gonna be perfect, you know, because it's probably not. I have a rhythm, and that's something I wish everybody could have. Like I just wish like I could help everyone with their problems, their depression and anxiety, and I just wish that I helped like at least one person not give up on themselves.